What's shaking, everybody? Time to empower yourself again, boys. We're coming at it today.
Oh, yeah.
Got rest in, feeling good, got you some sleep.
That's tired.
I'll tell you, that jet lag is, you guys travel the country is too much.
Yeah. Being on a plane for 12 hours, it'll kill you.
Yeah, not good. So we're talking today about some things that you need to be thinking about. You've heard of this little topic. It's called Bitcoin and mining and stocks and ETFs. There's also this other company. It's kind of new on the scene. I don't know. They may have not have heard about it, guys. This brand, it's called BlackRock. And what you may not know is they are actually the second largest shareholder of 4 of the 5 largest mining, basically ETFs, right? A lot of people don't know that. So I think the question a lot of times is, obviously, BlackRock in general is massive. Now, I don't always agree with everything that they stand behind, but a lot of the ideas as far as making money is, in some degrees, follow the money. So we wanted to talk on this show today a little bit about what does that look like and how you should potentially be looking at this whole Bitcoin and mining and all these other things that are happening out there, especially with the digital space. It's a big deal, guys, right?
Oh, it's a big deal.
And follow what everybody else does, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what? A lot of people, they're not too up to par when it comes to investing. But, you know, me and my brother, we've been following cryptocurrency for a while. And
we've learned a lot. We lost a lot of money, so we've learned a lot.
That's how you learn. It really is how you learn.
Mm-hmm. Right. But we invested in Bitcoin mining stocks, not because of BlackRock did it. I did my own research, and I've been following the space. But when you see an entity like BlackRock invest, you like...
Okay, I'm on the right path. I'm doing good this time around.
Right.
Well, I mean, and so when you look at companies like Riot or some of these other places, you know, that you can be dialing in at as far as ETFs, you know, people are kind of out there saying, what should I buy into and not? And obviously, we're not going to talk specifically on the show as far as what you should buy into, because that would be giving advice, and that's not what we do here.
Right.
But what we do want to talk about is the idea of if you're following a big trend, and we talk about this a lot, you know, with some of my other hats with the private companies that we have. We've always used the phrase over the years, money doesn't go away, it just moves.
Right.
And so when you think about that in relation to currency, in relation to investments in general, I think that holds true, don't you guys?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially in cryptocurrency. You better be ready to move when that money moves. Because if you're not, you lose all your money.
It is moving. It is moving. You went down the slip and slide, and somebody just put some soap on there to accentuate that slide.
Yeah, and when
a little cherry bump on the bottom for you, by the way.
Yeah, those Bitcoin miners, that's a leverage play on Bitcoin.
Yeah,
too. And Bitcoin runs in cycles, and the halving is coming up.
It's like it's like your washing machine. The wash cycle. It's different kind of cycle.
When you get washed, you're getting wrecked.
And we're not talking about laundering money here.
You gotta know when to take your shit out to laundry.
Don't put the whites in with the blacks.
Yeah,
only in the washing machine.
These Bitcoin miners are down like 90% from the all-time high.
Yeah,
and you got the Bitcoin halving, and you got the possible Bitcoin ETF. I mean, to me, it's a no.
Well, it's again, it's kind of like follow the money. That's why I said about money doesn't go away; it just moves. I'm not necessarily talking about when you invest your dollars, your value is going up and down. I'm talking about the reality of, I think, with anything, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's digital currency, whether it's real estate, you know, whether it's whatever it is, things shift. You know, and so you have to be paying attention as you're looking at your investments and saying, where is the shift going? What does it look like? Shift. SHIFT. Where is the shift going?
Yeah.
And you know, it's like you're driving a car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't drive a car if it's a 5-speed and stay in first gear on the interstate.
Yeah.
You got to get to 5th gear, whatever it is.
Got to shift. Like, Blockbuster was great at one point in time. You got to know how to shift in the Netflix.
Please Be Kind, Rewind does not work with digital media. So it really is true. And so when you see a company like BlackRock saying, okay, we're going to make a solidified commitment. Let me tell you this too. You guys may not know with some of my other hats. One of the hats that I have is we actually have a hedge fund as well, and it's a digital currency asset. You may not know that out there. These guys do. And one of the things that we talk about is looking for real access to where, you know, money is moving. As an example, when you look at companies like JP Morgan Chase, when you look at companies like Disney, when you look at companies like Ford and Disney, I said Disney, but Ford and Microsoft, the Wharton School of Business, by the way, there's other schools that are literally putting hundreds of millions of dollars there, sometimes billions based on what they're doing, in research and development of how they can use different types of digital assets, primarily things that are on the blockchain, to simplify their process.
Right.
So I think one of the things that you got to look at when you look at these things is saying, okay, yes, follow the money, but also let's understand. And by the way, this is one of the I'm giving you a little for free here, teachings, guys, by the way, of the investing basics. I'm pulling out from that, which you go to EmpowerAmericaShow.com, you'll see that. But the reality of it is you want to make sure that you understand, like, is there a real practical world value here and what this coin or currency or technology will actually be able to help facilitate and improve. Because, it's not just the Dogecoins of the world where Elon has a tweet like we've talked about before having fun. It's the idea of like, where are things going? So when you look at what BlackRock is doing, I think just at face value, and again, we're not telling you what to do or not. You have to make that your decision on your own. But if you're seeing a large amount of money go one way, it certainly, I think, causes things that make you go, it causes you to stand up and say, maybe I should be thinking about this.
Oh, yeah.
The BlackRock CEO, he labeled Bitcoin digital gold.
Yeah.
That's big time.
Not black gold, digital gold.
Yeah, that's big when he came out and said that.
Yeah.
And if they get their ETF, they apply for their ETF, and it's like they know something that nobody else knows.
Yeah.
So when they make that move, something's about to happen.
And if you do decide to pull that trigger, you got to understand that, don't look at things from a short-term perspective. Look at a long-term.
There you go.
These Bitcoin miners are down. You could jump in. These Bitcoin miners, they could fluctuate 100% up and you could lose 80%. But don't get, caught up in the short-term and the long-term gains and losses. In the long run, I think that's why we decided to invest.
Well, and I think, okay, let's talk about some practical investing thoughts here as well. As far as not what you should invest in, but just ideology before you get in. I think a lot of times people, when they invest in things, guys, is they're in a place where they're saying, I want to invest $1,000 and make $3 trillion in 10 seconds.
Good luck with that.
That's going to be amazing for me.
Right.
And obviously it's not going to happen. So Here's you have to have some discipline to your process. And I think sometimes people are running so fast that they forget the discipline or that feels boring or restraining or whatever. So I think it's always healthy to be in a place where you say, okay, regardless of what you invest in, it's going to have growth and then it's going to have pullbacks. Right? In some aspects.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think the healthy idea that I see is really being in a situation where you say it's probably a good idea to take some profit from time to time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't just invest your money and let it grow and let it go and just say this is just going to grow forever.
Right. Yeah, especially when you're dealing with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this.
Yeah.
I'm amazed because we've been in this space with cryptocurrency for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that it runs in cycles.
Yeah.
There's a bull run, everything's going up, and then it's going down, and everybody's like, you know what? I think I'll just hold. I'm in it for the long run.
Yeah.
No, take your profits, and then when it hits bottom again, then you can reinvest and like double your investment that way.
Well, a lot of people, when they do that, though, Keith, they're thinking about short-term gain versus long-term gain, right? So obviously short-term gain, that's anything where you've made a profit and it's basically a year and less, right? Long-term gain is a year or more. Now, obviously, we know that a year or more, we're in a place where you're paying capital gains rates, which based on where you are,
15% long-term.
Yeah, or 20%, depending on where people are, but and income and things. But at the end of the day, OI, which is ordinary income, well, now you're talking about the federal level of 37, which is the highest. And then you got state tax as well, and some of these other things potentially. So the bottom line is, when you look at all of these things, people do factor that. But to your point, I think, and it's a valid one, it's like, let's say you invested $1 million and your value grew to $3 million, and it was within a year, which, doesn't always happen and it's pretty rare. But let's say that occurred. Well, now you're like, oh my gosh, I made a lot of money in this short period of time.
300% is common in crypto.
I don't want to sell it because I'm going to pay taxes on $2 million and it's less than a year.
Yeah, I want that year,
But at the end of the day, even if it's less than a year, then the question is well, how much would you rather pay taxes on a value that's much less and keep much less?
Right. No, I'm going to hold this until it hits a year, and then I'm going to sell it. But then when you come to a year, you've lost 60% of what you had.
Oh, I only need 2 more days. Looks like I might need about 2 more years.
Yeah.
Now and by the way, that's why if you do have some wealth, okay, wearing some of the other hats that we talk about, you got to be in a place where you're looking at strategy beyond just your traditional CPA guys, where you can literally say, okay, yeah, I might have made a lot of money, and that's great, but there's also strategy out there, Section 178 of the IRS code, as well as others, that gives you the availability of implementing correctly designed structures that can not only preserve ground and property, but also maximize highest and best use value and minimize taxation. There's solar credits. There's all kinds of other things that can be used. Again, you have to determine your own situation to determine out what's right or not. But
you got me some of those credits. He got us a lot of credits.
You got a lot of money back in the pocket.
Right. Mike, what's the name of your business again?
Private Wealth.
Private He's got like many hats. So he's got like all these businesses.
Yeah.
Save all this money. But man, oh my God, the money.
I wish I could.
How much did we save last year? Like
a lot.
Don't
lot. Say it.
I wish I'd have met this man like 2 years before, though.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, and he's right, I wear a lot of hats. So that's why when I talk about this show with the different companies, this is not advice. We're just sharing ideas in general. It's not advisory advice, none of that. We're just talking about the reality that you got to be open to things. And I think from your point, as far as things going up and worried about taxes, yes, you want to try and mitigate that.
Right.
But if you've made a lot of profit, it's okay to take some gain, pay a little taxes, find the strategy that will apply to it. That's awesome. Yeah. But be in a situation where you keep that. Any last thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, also about the long term, like if you in that situation where it's short term and you're looking to try to save taxes, that's what you came into play for us.
Yeah. Because it was short term.
Yeah,
it was short term. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is just because don't just fear that.
Yeah.
So if you're in a place where you're working with a CPA that's like, you sell that, maybe you should because sometimes
my CPA didn't know that. I had to come to you for that.
That's exactly
right. You got to have
a
plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Yeah. Well, and so here, think about it like this, and it's not necessarily the CPA's fault.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to kill him.
Well, I'll let you say that. What I was going to say is, because a lot of times, listen, I come from a small town in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that I'm aware of now, I wasn't aware of years ago. Mm-hmm. And so when you think about it, you come down to Palm Beach, you got one of the highest concentrations of wealth in the country, quite honestly in the world. Therefore, we're involved in strategy, ideas, structure, planning, and things that just are not typical and normal out there for people that have a lot of wealth. So, I didn't know those things. And a lot of CPAs are in a place where they're just doing tax returns.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they do. They don't have time for advanced strategy. Anything that is advanced sounds scary and fearful to them, even though it might be part of the IRS code and even though it might be laws that have been enacted by Congress since 1980. They don't care about any of that stuff. What they care about is like, let's just keep doing what we're doing because that's something new I got to learn.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Now, there are people that are thinking outside the box. So
that's when you come in.
That's exactly right. So when you're thinking about that, just be in a place where when you're looking at your investments, just be of the mindset that it's not just always about taxes, but it is about taking some profit and knowing when to do that. And the last thing I'll say about that, guys, and I think we'll land the plane on this one, but because we might got some Uber Eats coming. Who likes Uber Eats? Raise your hand.
Wish I came up with that idea.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Exactly. But when you think about it, you got to be in a place where if you don't take some profit along the way, here's what actually happens emotionally. What happens is your emotions get outside of your control. You get greedy. And you can also then get fearful as things move around. Almost like, Kevin, when I was driving in here today with my truck, with my bat, I call it.
Yeah, it's normal to drive up on the curb.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm driving a big old truck today. I'm going to be coming up on the curb. Just so happens this is my property, so we're okay. So those of you that are, security conscious, he might have been or gone through a handicap zone. Well, don't worry. It's my office. It's Sunday. Nobody's here. It's all good.
Yeah.
Making parking spaces great again. So listen, pay attention to what's shaking. Follow the money is the point here. And until next time, peace out and empower yourself, boys and girls. See you later.